Good evening, dear friends. There's an epidemic going on, an epidemic of weak, thin necks and big, heavy, weighty heads. Evolution has made a wrong turn, apparently. What is the human body like today? Fighting against gravity and the force of attraction during magnetic storms, our body maintains balance in space with the help of muscles and the musculoskeletal system. And our powerful head in an adult can weigh up to, well, 10 kilograms probably, but that's only if you have a big hairstyle, gold teeth, maybe some braces, heavy glasses, or a beard. But generally, it's about 7% of your body weight, maybe 5, well, around 8 kilograms on average. That's the weight of your head. And a thin neck, like a stem of an orchid. It has to support this heavy head. For someone with a college education, the weight of the head can reach up to 8 kilograms. For someone with vocational training, the weight of the head can reach up to 8 kilograms. For someone with only a primary school education, the weight of the head can reach up to 8 kilograms at its maximum. For someone with no formal education, it reaches 8 kilograms. This is the brain, shown schematically right here. The weight of the brain does not depend on how many books you have read, how well you have learned the multiplication tables, sines, cosines, or whether you are familiar with equations, logarithms, and other encyclopedic knowledge. They do not increase the weight of your brain. The weight of the head is, on average, is about 7% of your body weight. But the thing is, our neck has to support this weight. Maybe you've seen pictures like this. So when a person is standing and holding their phone like this, it says here the head weighs, let's say, 5 kilograms, like that. And when they lower their head like this, looking down here, holding it like this, whether it's a phone or a newspaper, there you go. And here it says the head weighs 59 kilograms. So what conclusion can we draw from this? We need to avoid this position because it increases the load on the neck muscles and they can't handle it. They start to hurt. That's the conclusion we come to, and we try to put even less strain on the neck. Who's interested in this? Exactly those whose neck gets tired and hurts. Whose neck gets tired and hurts. Two options. Either your neck is constantly under such a heavy load, you are constantly training your neck muscles, you are doing various exercises with weights. For example, you put on a special cap like this, hang about 30 kilograms of weights, and train like this. Then you do exercises for these front neck muscles. Lying down like this, you put a 20 kilogram weight here and train. That's when your neck muscles are overloaded and you need to rest. But if your 5 kilogram head causes such a load on your neck muscles, which have no other functions, what do you think the neck muscles exist for? Turning your head is obvious, but they also work just to hold up this 5 kilogram head even without a hat. If you put on a winter hat, for example, at most a couple more kilograms are added. And the neck muscles can't take it anymore. Let's divide the neck muscles into several groups. The anterior group of muscles, the sternum, the sternocleidomastoid muscle. Here it is in the front. It's paired. It starts at the top, at the mastoid process of the temporal bone, right here. There are two attachment points at the bottom, the clavicle and the sternum. As a rule, during the day it might tense up just a couple of times, like when you turn your head. And even then it's the kind of tension that doesn't actually train it. That's why this muscle becomes very weak, very thin, and almost useless with age. That's why the muscle next to it, the scalene muscle, is usually very shortened. So here we have the head. Here's the head, just like this. This is a person. And the scalene muscles, the ones nearby, are forced to take on the load to help out somehow. Why does this happen? Also, why do you have constant strain in the scalene muscles? There are two options. Either you train the sternocleidomastoid muscle very hard with a lot of weight that they can no longer handle, and the load started shifting to the scalene muscles, or this muscle has become so weak that everything else tenses up just to keep your head from falling. Then the posterior neck muscles. The most important thing here is the long neck extensors, a group of muscles. There is a long muscle and a splenius muscle there. Let's just identify them as these two formations on the sides of the neck. They start from the middle of the thoracic spine and end at the occiput. And these two muscles, just like you have on the sides of your spine, this is the back extensor. You could say they then continue into the neck extensor, that's how they go. And these two muscles also become smaller and smaller, thinner and thinner with age. And that's why when your head drops forward like this to look ahead, they can't handle it. And what is located just a bit higher, between the occiput, right here, between the occipital bone and the first vertebra? There's a group of small muscles there, the short extensors. They are forced to stay tense all the time right here, while for us, instead of the sternocleidomastoid and scalene muscles, these were getting tense. You might ask, what's so bad about that? There's nothing really bad, it's just that when they shorten, the nerves going to the arm get compressed, and the arm will get weaker and numb. That's it. Now, like this, so we don't have to draw it a second time. Let's imagine we're looking from the back now. This is the back of the head, here's the hair and the ears from behind. And here we have the neck from the back. And here, on the sides, on the right and left, there should be powerful long neck extensors, which are almost absent in everyone. But when they don't work, the function is taken over by these. The group of short neck extensors. What's bad is that there are vessels running between them, from the head to the brain even. And their spasm causes compression. All of this gets pinched. The inflow and outflow are disrupted. Your head hurts because the occipital nerve also gets pinched. There. This is the posterior muscle group. We'll include the trapezius muscle in the lateral muscle group, although it also belongs to the posterior group, because this part attaches here, sort of. But in terms of its function, let's do it this way. For today, let's consider it as part of the lateral group. And here it's the same situation. There's a muscle that has to perform its function. And there's something that will start working when it stops performing this function. Here we have it. This young man. Here is his neck. And there should be a trapezius muscle, which also often thins out, may be absent or starts to weaken. And because of that, the shoulder droops down here. But many people think that it hurts, that it's constantly tense. The thing is, let's draw it like this, kind of from the side. Well, here it is. It covers everything like this right here, the upper part. The trapezius, there is also the middle and lower part. This is the middle part. The lower part is here, and this is the upper trapezius. The thing is, under the trapezius, there is a muscle that actually causes the pain. This muscle is called the levator scapulae. It runs from the scapula's corner to the top 4 vertebrae. And when the trapezius muscle weakens, loses volume, loses tone, the levator scapulae muscle starts trying to work instead of it. It constantly gets overloaded, tense, because it's much smaller. What's special about this whole process? The thing is, the large muscle stopped working and the smaller auxiliary one started to get overloaded and hurt. It's the same thing here. The trapezius isn't working. The levator scapulae gets overloaded and hurts. So, now we know what happened, and now we need to find out what to do about it, step by step. If you've never trained your neck muscles, if you already have some symptoms like headaches, dizziness, or, for example, neck pain as well. It means that your neck is already too weak to support the weight of your head. There are two options. Reduce the weight of your head. The second option is to strengthen your neck muscles. Choose. How can you reduce the weight of your head?
Get a haircut. First option. Second option.
Shave off your beard.
Third option. Pull your teeth.
It will help for a while. Then the neck will weaken and you'll have to come up with something else again. So I suggest instead that you shave your head too and it will grow back. That's a feature. Go bald. This is a good option. It will help for a while. So the first set of exercises is for beginners, for those who have never trained their neck before and suddenly decided to start training it.
All right. You need a pillow.
Ah, here it is. Here, regular pillow. Not like this one, but the kind you sleep on. It'll do. You don't need to look for a special one like this. A regular pillow will do just fine. Even if you're lying down right now, don't move, don't get up. What you're lying on right now will work for you. The pillow should be a little bit higher, so that your head is not lying in a natural horizontal position, but is slightly elevated. Well, about the same position as when you watch television or look at your phone. So, the very first exercise. Lie down on this pillow and start pressing back, pressing with the back of your head, pushing and pressing the pillow with the back of your head. This way, you start to feel tension. The muscles at the back of your neck, the long extensor, hold for 3 seconds, then relax. Once more. Press, create tension in these muscles, hold for 3 seconds, and relax. Once more. Press, hold, relax. If something feels very tense somewhere, do it 5 times. If everything is fine, do it 10 times. These are the muscles at the back of the neck. Here's another option. If it doesn't work, causes pain, or affects your breathing, such as causing discomfort, stop. Turn onto your stomach, to the edge of your bed, just like this. Lie down, or you can even just support yourself on your hands like this, so you don't have to lie on the edge of the bed. If you don't have a bed, just get into this position on the floor. There you go, the weight of your head is 5 kilograms. And see if your neck muscles can even handle this weight. Just hold it there. You can lie down like this and hold it like that and see. At the same time, see if you feel any pain. If everything is fine, then you can move on to the first exercise. If you even feel some strain from this, just stop at this stage. Later, you can move on to the next one. And for the side muscle group, lie on your side. And in this way, just by using the weight of your head, you load your muscles. Try touching them, they will already start to tense up from this. Here, both the sternocleidomastoid and the neck extensor will tense up at the same time. And here, if in this position you turn your head slightly this way, at a 45-degree angle, the muscle on the back of your neck will engage even more. If you turn it this way, the sternocleidomastoid muscle will be engaged a bit more. So you can try these basic exercises in different positions as well. So this group of exercises is for weakened neck muscles. Each of them should be done for 5 to 10 repetitions if it's a movement. Or if it's a static exercise, hold for at least 5 seconds. If things are really bad, then work up to 10 and later to 20 seconds. Do 2 to 3 sets on each side. Next, moving on. As Russian researchers have found, neck muscles can be trained either statically, especially if you've never trained them before. So if you haven't trained your neck muscles, start with static exercises. Or start with exercises that have a small range of motion. There are some exercises that everyone seems to love for some reason, where you have to turn your head as much as possible back and forth, or stretch it, because they kind of relieve tension. They relieve tension in exactly those muscles we talked about. These are the suboccipital and scalene muscles, the overworked levator scapulae. And it becomes easier for a while. But what has weakened won't get stronger because of this. And that's why gradually your head starts to take this position. Your shoulders start to rise up. That's not good. So next step is that you can increase the load a bit more. This is meant for those who are more prepared. Guys, let's start with the front neck muscles. Look, here's one option. Lie down on your back, and here your sternocleidomastoid muscles should already be holding the weight of your head. And here too, hold this position statically, well, for about 10 seconds to start with. There. This is a static hold. There are different variations of this exercise and ways to develop it further. Here you can later put more load on one or another muscle. Turn your head to one side and hold it like this. Turn your head to the other side and hold it like this. And here you can add some more movement. One option is to tilt your head back a little. This is more for those who've been pain-free for a while. Then you can try this kind of movement. That is, you slightly raise your chin up and lower it down. Slightly raise it up, lower it down. So we add a small range of motion, but we don't tilt the head too far back. So your chin kind of goes up and down, up, down. But just in case, it's better not to tilt your head like that. You can just lift up a bit so that if anything, you don't pass out. And the second option is when you reach up with your chin, right up here toward the ceiling. Stretch up and then lower back to the starting position. Once again, stretch up, lower down. It's actually even better to do this just lying down at first. So you lie on your back like this. Your head is touching the surface. And now from this position, first you lift your head, raise it off the floor, and now stretch your chin toward the ceiling, right here. This is also a good option if you don't feel excessive tension at the base of your skull during this exercise. So I'll show you some options so you can choose what suits you best. So you stretch upward and then return to the starting position. You stretch upward, then return to the starting position. Or you stretch in this position and hold it. There you go. So in this case, the exercise is already a bit more dynamic. And this is safer than the previous method. There are also exercises like this, where you tilt your head back a little like this and then lift from here. First with just the weight of your head and then even with some additional weight. But this is definitely not for those who have headaches, dizziness, or can barely hold their head up. This is for athletes. And here is a similar option for you, but it's safer and not an athlete level version. This is when you lift your head, reach up slightly with your nose or chin like this, and then lower it. Like that. There are exercises where you also lift your head, and in this position you turn it to one side, then to the other side, like that. This is also not the exercise you should start with right away. It's already for more advanced athletes. If during this exercise, when you start turning your head while lifting it, you feel something cracking somewhere, or if your head hurts the next day or even the same day after doing it, then it's too early for you to do this exercise. So the most you can do is either just hold the weight of your head or turn it to one side so that the muscles on one side work, and then to the other side so the muscles on the other side work. Later on, the sports versions of these exercises are done with added weight, where some weight is placed here, and then the movement and range of motion are adjusted accordingly. You don't need that for now. Just start with this for now. Next, for the back of the neck, what should you do at the next stage when you no longer feel any strain from pressing against the pillow and nothing is happening? Here you find a wall. You take a towel. You need something soft between the wall and the back of your head so you don't damage the wallpaper. And some people have uneven heads. Almost everyone does, while the wall is usually flat. So you need something soft there. And you put this towel between the back of your head and the wall. That's it. And just like that, you stand up and stay there. And even this static load is often enough at first. Here, for example, you measure the time to see how long it takes before your neck muscles start to get tired. If you can hold it for 30 seconds, that's enough for one set. Hold it, rest for 10 to 15 seconds, and then repeat this for several sets. Here, the farther you step away from the wall and the lower you bring this down, the greater the load will be. But you also need to be careful with this. So this it might seem to you that it's too easy to do, that the first set went well and you'll immediately want to increase the load. Don't rush. Sometimes the first set is much easier to do than all the others. That's why during the first week, don't make it harder, don't increase the load. The next options are when the distance between your feet and the back of your head increases, but you don't need that for now. That's also more for athletes. The front of the neck can also be trained the same way. Here, place the towel again, step back to about this distance and touch the sternocleidomastoid muscle with your hand. There, you can feel it tense up. That's enough for now. You need to stand in this position. Hold this position. There! This is the front neck muscle. Next, the sternocleidomastoid and this side part of the neck. It would seem that you need to stand like this, right? You stand sideways, just like this. And just step back a little, like this. But here it's better to use not this angle, but a 45-degree angle there. So not just standing sideways, but at 45 degrees. Because this sideways tension can cause excessive strain on the levatoscapulae muscle, which is under the trapezius muscle, and it's constantly overloaded. And this can cause an unpleasant headache. That's why it's better to use this position here when you're standing at a 45-degree angle, and the same thing applies. Here, touch the sternocleidomastoid muscle, right here on the left side. There, it's tense now. It's tense in this position, and we stand like this as well. For example, we're talking with friends. Or at work too, at any moment. I mean, that's what's good about these exercises, right?
What's good about them?
No special equipment is needed. You can do it anytime, even while driving, right? At work, in line. You can do this anywhere.
It would seem so. You just have to want to.
So, friends, you'll find even more exercises at the link in the description. If you have it, check it out, take a look. Everything is already prepared for you there. Neck muscles won't build themselves, so let's not waste any time. If you are here, let us know. Send your wishes and admiration. Until next time.